Joe Hopkins here, and it was like, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago, something like that. I talked about my experience with COVID, right? And I thought I'd, go into a little bit more about it because, I don't know, a lot of people have experienced something similar to what I have. Now, I just finished my workout today. That's why I'm wearing my workout hat. Actually, it's a welder's hat, but it keeps the hair out of my face when I'm pumping iron, right? So, yeah, man, I just finished my workout, and I was thinking about it, how I've been trying to kind of stay fit as I get older. For any of you wondering, I'm 46. I think I look pretty good for my age. Anyway, for any of you that didn't see that video, yeah, man, I used to be a really, really fit guy, right? Before COVID, right before it, I was at my heaviest at 205 pounds, and very little of it was fat. I'm 6'1", by the way. So 6'1", 205, I was benching like 285, squatting 350 something, and my deadlift was well north of 400 pounds. And on top of that, I could go out and run 10 miles, I ran a 5K every day for years. I called it my 5K a day. Monday through Friday, I went out and ran a 5K. Got my time down pretty good, too. But, so, I mean, I was a fit dude. Along with doing calisthenics, I would do that, regularly, and was pretty good at it. Yoga. I did all kinds of fitness stuff. It's my hobby, one of my hobbies. That and music, I always really loved staying in shape. And then I got COVID. You know what COVID did to me? In about a 6-week time period, I lost 35 pounds. I went from 205 to 170. And I'm still at about 170, mostly because after that, it took me a little over a year to completely get over COVID. After about a month, I could go back to doing stuff. After a second month, I could go work out, but I'd hit a wall. It's like I felt fine. I felt like I always did, and I get to a certain point where it's just poop, that's it. And I was done for the day. I was doing nothing else that day. So I couldn't work out that hard, because if I did, I was wasted for the whole day. And I mean, completely like sit in the recliner, watch TV, do nothing else, can't even hardly get up, wasted. And that lasted for about a year, a little over a year. And then one day it felt like it kind of lifted. I found that I could do more. And when I did hit the wall, it didn't waste me for the whole day. I'd rest for about an hour or two, and then I felt like I'd go back to my normal life, which is still not what I used to be, where I could just go and go and go forever, but it was better. And I'm like, okay, I can get back to getting swole again, right? I can get back to where I was. Except I found that that wasn't going to happen, because that's about the time I started working ridiculous amounts of overtime at my job. Kind of had to for several reasons. One, they're making me work a certain amount of it, right? And then I started working more than I had to because we could really use the money. So I don't have the time to lift and work out as often as I did. I don't have the time to prep meals as carefully as I did, because that's another big part of being in that kind of shape, is eating right and sleeping enough. And that's the other thing I didn't have time for. When you're working a lot of double shifts, you don't sleep as much as you should. So the chances of me getting back in that kind of shape didn't look pretty damn slim. And as I get older, I find it's a lot less likely to happen. I've developed problems over the years. My back, which I injured when I was younger, but managed to find ways to work around it. Yeah, it's gotten to where if I want to be able to walk when I'm old, I'm not lifting heavy anymore, especially deadlifts and squats. I'm not going that heavy, or I'll be a cripple in my 60s. You know what I mean? I don't want that. So, yeah, it doesn't mean I can't lift, but I can't ever go that heavy again, right? And it's not like I was going super heavy. I'm not a super huge dude. I'm a thin guy. For a skinny dude, I'd say I got my lifts up there about as far as they're going to go. I was hoping to get my bench over 300 and my squat over 400 someday, but that didn't happen, right? I was getting there. I'd have got there eventually, right? But anyway, as I get older, that's just what it is. And I know a lot of you guys out there, as you get older, maybe it's harder to do shit, right? My goal now, and I'd recommend this to anybody out there, my goal now is to stay in as good shape as I can for my age. which I'm still in way better shape than most people my age. Way better. I found the back problem has progressed to where I'm not running anymore. And I miss it. God, I miss running. I used to love going for really long runs. So now I go for fast walks. I can still do that. If I run though, it starts to push my pelvis out. My left pelvis here. When I injured it when I was younger, it twisted, and when you put it back, it's never exactly the same. So if I go running, all the pounding with my legs kind of starts pushing it out of place. I used to do it anyway. But I used to do it and then like snap it back in place. Now when I do that, it hurts like crazy for a couple days. So I'm not doing that anymore. I can't. I went from, you put it back and it's a little bit sore for a day or so to you put it back in and it's hard to walk for a day or so. So yeah, that's out. Fast walking though, walking is almost as good as running as you go out in nature. I like doing that. I like going out. So I walk when I can, right? And I do what I can. I eat as well as I have time for. A lot of times I have to eat at work. My job feeds me. They feed me, but the food isn't exactly the healthiest. I work in a prison. It's prison food. It's a lot of starches, a lot of, it's filling, but it's not good for you. So, yeah, if you ever wonder how them dudes in the prison yard get so swole, it's a lot of that's commissary food, right? A lot of fish. They get a lot of the canned fish and ramen. Fish and ramen, it's not bad. And some of the food at work isn't that bad. But anyway, so I'm never going to be in the shape I was. But I can still stay fit for my age. And I'm telling you this because you guys out there, no matter what kind of shape you're in now, you can get a little bit better. You could be a little bit better, even if you don't have the motivation. Like me, I'm motivated to work out because I enjoy it. Not everybody does. But even if you don't enjoy it, find a type of exercise you do enjoy, like going for a walk or, swimming. A lot of people find they like swimming. Swimming's nice, very zen, especially, you get your breathing down. It clears the head. That's the thing with exercise, running, swimming. I found the regular breathing, it clears the head. It puts you in a nice space. But find something you do like to do and do that, right? Some people, they get into weightlifting and they find they really like it, especially big guys that can push a lot of weight. Makes you feel good, The more mass you have, the more weight you can push. To a degree, up to a point, right? It's why those extreme strongman types and power lifters a lot of times they're bulkier dudes. The strongman competition, bulky dudes, helps them move more weight. But whatever it is, find something you like doing and do it. Get in a little bit better shape. We're all getting older, right? And if you're younger and you actually have the oomph to do it, man, get in shape. It's a good thing to do. And not just so you look good. It's not about looks. People think, oh man, I want the abs. I want the pecs, right? Look at me. I'm not the best looking guy in the world. Like I said, I don't exactly look my age, but I'm not a great looking guy. It's not about looks. Who cares about looks? It's about how you feel. And I'll tell you something, if you feel good, if you feel better, you look better. And that's the truth, man, because you carry yourself more. You have a little more confidence. You have a little more self-assuredness, a little bit more swagger. Even if you don't swagger, you at least have more confidence in yourself if you're more capable. And when you're in better shape, you're more capable. So, yeah, man, go out there. Get in a little bit better shape. Do like me. You might never be as good as you were, or you might not be as good as you could be, right? Because very few people hit their peak. I think I came pretty close, but that was a lot of work. I like the work, but it's a lot of work, and I don't have time for it now. But if you do have time, get in as good shape as you can. Do what you can as you can, even if it's just getting in a little bit better shape, because it's good to feel good, and it makes you feel good when you get the endorphins going and when you lose a couple pounds. Or if you're a real skinny guy, if you hit the weights, you put on a couple pounds, might make you feel good. You know what I mean? That was always my thing. I never had trouble losing weight. I had trouble gaining it. Putting on muscle was really, really hard for me. Lifting twice a day, eating stupid amounts of food, all healthy food, but you got to eat a lot. I do. I have to eat a lot to put on weight. And I did. I ate mountains of food. That crazy thing is, I learned all about the bodybuilding thing, I was into powerlifting, but I wanted to get stronger. I don't care how I look. I want strength. But I learned you eat when you're not hungry. you start going by your calorie count and your macros, and you have to get enough protein and enough carbs and enough fats and enough calories to be in a surplus with the kind of weight you're pushing. You experiment with it until you find what works, and then you realize it's a lot more food than you actually want to put in your guts. It's hard to eat that much. But for some of you guys, you might want to lose weight. And that can be difficult, right? Find something that works. There are a million diets out there. And I've found that some of them are really bunk, but a lot of them, they have some benefits. Experiment, try different things, and see what works for you. See what actually helps you lose weight or gain weight or feel a little bit better or lighter or heavier or whatever you're looking for, right? Because we're not all the same. Everybody talks about losing weight. Some of us got to gain it. And you know, it's not all the same kind of thing. Plus, what kind of exercise do you like? You got to eat different for it. When I was out running, I was running 8 to 10 miles 3 times a week for, I don't know, about a year. And the night before I would run, man, I'd carb load. I'd be shoveling in spaghetti and pasta and rice and beans and all that kind of stuff. Italian food, Mexican food, right? A lot of carbs, heavy carb stuff. It's fairly good carbs, especially if you get like the whole wheat pasta or the whole grain rice. You know what I mean? And you cram it in you the day before, like in the evening. And normally you don't go to bed on that full of stomach, but in that case you do, because you need the energy the next morning to go run 10 miles. But you can't eat all that food right before you run and then run. You'll puke. Trust me. So you do it the night before, you carb load. It's called carb loading. Different kind of eating than you would for like when I was getting heavier into the powerlifting. That's totally different. I was focusing so much more on protein and eating at different times, along with then sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night and you go get some cheese or a little bit of lunch meat or something to get some protein in you in the middle of the night even. It helps you put on the muscle. It really does. But along with all the fluids you're drinking, you usually have to get up to pee in the night. You just eat something and go back to bed. That was weird. I'm like, you know, 4 or 5 in the morning, which at the time was the middle of the night for me. That's when I get up a lot of times now, but then it was the middle of the night because I was working different hours. But yeah, anyway, so I'm getting up middle of the night, cramming food in me and going back to bed. So I found when I'm working out regularly, I don't have as much trouble sleeping either. Another reason I got into exercise, insomnia, you know what I mean? And it actually takes a lot of exercise to make me not have trouble falling asleep. Otherwise, can you tell I'm a little wound, right? I found an all-natural sleeping pill that helps, but still, sometimes it just is what it is. But yeah, I'm trying to stay fit for my age. You guys can do it too. And I wish you all the best, man. Get a little bit better. We can always get just a little bit better. Or at least slow down us getting worse. As you get older, that's the whole thing. You're not going to get better. But can you slow down the worse? Slow it down a little bit. Stay as good as you can, as long as you can. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you guys. Peace out, baby. Bye-bye.